Hi everybody, Stephen from Bartolowski Station here. Today I got something, it's an oldie but a goodie. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. This model was sitting on the shelf at my hobby store since 2017. It was debuted in the 2017 Signature catalog. It was delivered towards the end of 2017. You may like it because I sure as heck do. All right, here she is. If you see the label on the box, it says 3 Truck Shay. Yes. I'm going to speed things up from this point forward. So the moment I start opening to the moment I put it on the track, there will be a time lapse. So be right back, folks. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna move the camera this way. Well, she needs to still be connected, but I'm going to connect everything and I will be back with the review. So 1 second, guys. All right, so here's the Western Maryland Shay number 6. Now, before we get the model going, let's talk a little bit about it. So this was, again, released in the 2017 Volume 1 catalog from Lionel and delivered around December of 2017. I almost said 2020, my apologies. But let's talk a little bit about the real Western Maryland number 6 Shay. So a Shay locomotive is a type of a geared steam locomotive that sends power through a shaft, whether it be sends power through a crankshaft, in this case, down through a series of gears down to the wheels. The advantage is the locomotive has insanely high tractive effort, despite the fact that it has the sacrifice of having an extremely limited top speed and a very small size. For instance, this could be potentially geared 3-to-1. What that means is, for instance, let's just say that the crankshaft rotates 3 times. The wheels are only going to rotate once. I don't know the exact gear ratios, but just hang with me for a minute. The great advantage is you have greater starting tractive effort and better continuous tractive effort going up hills and steep grades. The biggest drawback with this model is that you have a very limited top speed, just like the real-life prototype. And the smaller driving wheels don't help that either. However, these things were incredibly powerful for their size. For instance, the number 6 Shay you see here had an tractive effort of about 57,000 pounds, which is incredibly impressive. Speaking of Shays, we need to talk about the 3 classes of Shays. For instance, there was Class A Shays, that had, or Type A Shays that had 2 cylinders and 2 trucks. Class B Shays had 3 cylinders and 2 trucks. Class C, which you see here, has 3 cylinders and 3 trucks. And Class D had 3 cylinders but 4 trucks. Shays came about by a man by the name of Ephraim Shay, who happened to be a local Michigan resident like myself. He was a county clerk and had a multitude of different jobs before joining the railroad and logging industry. And he had a problem of getting his timber out of the winter, getting out of the forest during winter, but he wanted to do it all season round. So he made a locomotive that bore similar designs to the Shay you see here. Shays are unique in their appearance. Their boiler is offset to the left to counteract the weight of the cylinders here. And more importantly, they were the most popular type of geared steam locomotives probably ever made. They were the most widely used. In total, I think about 3,000 Shays were made, or close to that number, and there's over 100 in preservation all over the world. So it's sure good to say that these things are still plentiful and kicking. So that takes care of the locomotive's history and the classifications regarding the locomotive. So now let's go take a look at some details. Okay, so up front you got a remote coupler up here. You got a nice smoke box. I don't know if it opens. Let me take a look. Nope, it does not open. Never mind. You got your smokestack here. Let's do this. To add smoke fluid, you just pour smoke down the stack, and that also operates the whistle steam smoke effect. You got a nice headlight here. This is your steam pipe going to your cylinders. You got a nicely detailed steam dome, bell, and the pilot looks pretty prototypical for the Shays. Next, the side view. As I've shown you in the earlier clip, you have some nice crankshaft detail. You have the nice rods or whatever, the nice valve gear. You have your air pumps and water pumps. I believe these are just air pumps. I can't remember for certain. Up top here, I don't know if you can see it way back here, but this is the hole for the whistle steam smoke effect. Now to add smoke fluid, like I said, you pour it down the stack and it operates both. The back of the cab is pretty nicely detailed. Doors do not open, and this is a cast-in coal load instead of a real coal load. The back of the tender is nice. You got a backup light, ladder, pilot, and your rear remote coupler. All right, all throughout here, you can kind of see the crankshaft details with all the universal joints and such all throughout down here. And you can see it in operation. It's really cool when it starts moving. It's really prototypical. And speaking of prototypical, because of that, you will not be able to lash this up with any other locomotive that does not have the the reduction gearing. On the other side, this locomotive is pretty sparse, but that is true to the prototype. So there's nothing really to go over here other than you have your number 6, the word Shay, and Western Maryland painted very nicely. The last thing I'm going to do is get this thing powered up and take it around the layout for a little bit. I have 4 ore cars behind this. 2 are Lionel, 2 are Menards. So I don't have anything too special, so I do apologize. So let's get going. If I turn the power on.
This is the yard office. Do you read me? I read you. Over. Get us set up running. Your train will be ready at 17:30. Over. Yes, sir. Start up and stand by. Out.
All right, let's hear some sounds. Here's the bell, first of all. Now how about the whistle? All right, let's get it rolling out. All right, let's get it rolling out. All right, that wraps up today's video. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Please like, favorite, share, and subscribe for more videos coming to you very soon. Take care, everybody.